Good morning, Boca Raton, Florida. November 1st. Everybody, make your housing payment now. Unless you're lucky enough to own your own place, free and clear. Wow. How nice that would be. Well, Tunnels for Towers is doing it for our disabled veterans and first responders. We don't have a lot of our people our military being killed in action and all that because President Trump is keeping us out of such conflicts. Yeah, So Tunnels for Towers is focusing its attention on first responders, which is what their basic mission was anyway. Because, Tunnels for Towers, the fire department and all that, his brother. And, so it was designed for first responders. And police, and whoever gets critically maimed or killed in action, firemen, and then the building collapses on the firemen, and oh my God, how terrible! How terrible that would be. Yeah, and a loving family is without a loved one. Yeah, we know what that's... No, we don't know what that's like. It's got to be terrible. Well, thinking of things that are not terrible, November 1st is the date of the Mayor's Ball. The famous Mayor's Ball. And, I forget where it's being held. How about that for a forget? Mayor's Ball. Venue. For 2025. Come on. I don't know what's going on here. Something's going on here. Excuse that interruption. All right, let's see what we get. I'd be helpful if you spelled it right, but they get the joke. Yeah. Okay, the Boca Raton Hotel and Club is the venue for the Mayor's Ball. There it is in living print. Uh-huh. Yeah. I love going there, actually. We don't get to go there very often. We were married there, can you believe it? 44 years ago. June. Oh my God, June. Yeah, we already did it. Yep, there we go. Here's the Let's look at images. Yeah, here's this is it. There you go. That's not it. There must be another. Let's see what this one says. No, that's not it. I didn't know there were so many mayor's balls. Maybe I ought to see. Yeah, gosh. How do we get out of this? Venue for Boca Raton's Mayor's Ball. Gotta put a few, there we go. That looks, let's see what this one says. This is live television, folks. This is it. There you go. Celebrating the 10th year. The save image. There we go. Celebrating 100 years of Boca Raton. Party of the century. Then the 2025 honorees. Got the J.C. Mitchell Award. We got the George Long Award. Continue reading. Of course I'm going to continue reading. The Susan Welchel Award. I don't know. Maryland should get an award for something. Okay. We've answered the question. The Boca Raton Hotel. Yeah. Oh, gosh. Whew. I fell down on my left shoulder. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Let's check our internet connection. We just lost Twitter. Nothing new they usually check out. Well, they stayed in for 9 minutes. I don't know what's going on with them. I have good, let's see. I'm checking my signal. I don't think you can see it. I got 48, 49, 48, 48.9. What do you call it? Megabits per second. I need 7 megabits per second. I got 48. So what's with old Twitter? Guess I'll have to call my friend Elon and Tobias, he's so busy. I'll text message him. It'll get it on his phone. And then he can just look at it and put it back in his pocket. I don't know. I wouldn't. So now, speaking of Elon Musk, and that went right to SpaceX. SpaceX has got some, I see it on YouTube. You know, YouTube, you can watch some videos on YouTube. Oh my God. They got some interesting things on YouTube. And one of the things that they have, see if I can show you. Yeah, see that right there? Okay. There's my YouTube button. See it right down there? Right from the microphone button, you go right straight down, hit the YouTube button on my famous iPad. Shoulder pad. Yeah, let's see. Holy, I don't know what that is. The most advanced robots. Another time for that. Yeah. Another time. We'll just turn that down a little bit. Turn that microphone down. See, it's like it's like this microphone is like aiming an X-ray machine at your face. Yeah, yeah, I'm looking for SpaceX. Yeah. Elon Musk reveals Tesla Optimus can do anything. Yeah, I was looking for the huge reveal. I'll bet you SpaceX is working overtime. And they're going to use one of their blast-offs. And they're just going to go, baby. Yeah. He's gonna send that sucker to the moon. Yeah. Trump appoints Elon Musk. The cabinet in shock. As Trump moves to elevate Elon Musk something. Oh my God. Jeez, leave him alone. The shareholders will go crazy. And he's got a shareholder vote coming up. Hey, Elon, you better stick to Tesla and SpaceX and so forth. The Tesla shareholders meeting is coming up. Like, November 4th or something? Soon. Guns that are a mechanical marvel. Nobody saw this coming from Carolyn Levitt. Surprise announcement breaks. Oh, God. All right, what else? Finally happened. Tesla bot Generation 3 robot, humanoid bot, cleans home and cooks dinner. There it is. And Elon Musk is walking him out. 12,000 watt. What? Everflow Delta Pro Ultra X. Portable home backup power system. Just looking at his. So how does it work? Tell us how it works. What energy does it chew up. I'd rather learn about Tesla's Optimus robot cleaning home and cooking dinner. Look at that dinner. We got a Coke, we got a bottle of water on there, and nobody saw this coming from Carolyn Levitt. God knows what that means.
We'll begin today with some scheduling announcements for President Trump's upcoming trip to Asia. Tomorrow night at suffering every day as a result. More than 500,000 civilian federal employees will miss a full paycheck tomorrow. Thousands of small business loans are going unapproved each month. This means almost $4 billion in capital is being withheld from small businesses across the country. The Democrats shut down American air travel. The White House is in constant communication with the air traffic controllers. The administration will fight these lawsuits in court. The president's main priority has always been to put American
president shirts saying we don't have enough assassins, calling for more political violence. Does the president want to see arrests here, and are we going to see arrests of these types of explicit calls to violence?
I would think myself, the president, and everyone here at the White House certainly hopes that anyone who is making violent and illegal threats in that way against public officials will be arrested and prosecuted. Sure.
Thank you. Two questions. Would the president support the Senate ending the legislative filibuster to end the shutdown?
This is something I haven't heard the president talk about much, so I don't want to speak on him for it. I'll let him in.
Before I get copyright infringed. Yeah, proper. Okay, what do we got going here? We're looking at our photo library. There we go, I'm on the right. And cop out. Adam, the current mayor. Adam unveils plan to fund an extra 5,000 New York PD cops. He's got a plan to bring 5,000 New York cops back into swearing-in ceremony. Yeah. And reinstate this and reinstate that. Come on back. In the meantime, DeSantis has the electric billboards going right in downtown Manhattan saying, come on down to Florida and get your $5,000 signing bonus. New York doesn't want you, but we do. Come on down here and get a pay raise. No taxes on your income down here. No, sir. And we respect law and order as opposed to some of the crazy people you got in Manhattan and in Albany, New York. You crazy people. Yeah, I mean, it's such a sophisticated state. You'd think, they hire these, they vote in, hire, it's the same thing. They vote in these terrible individuals to run, these big governments. Being governor of New York State is serious business. And the lady that's in there, I'm afraid she's not prepared. All right. In the fine print here, which I'm making less fine, Adams launched a preemptive strike against socialist candidate for mayor Zohran Mamdani on Friday, unveiling a plan to boost the NYPD's staffing to its highest level in 20 years by the year 2029. But the race favorite, I mean, yeah, they were trying to count all the letters. I'll correct the English language for them. But the races, they would have had room for an apostrophe S, come on. But the race's favorite immediately ruled out, immediately ruled blocking it out, I should say. Yeah. Let me see if I can squeeze. There we go. Now we have to move it over. Let me squeeze it a little bit. There you go. Now you can see it all. I knew I could get it for you. Yeah, we go like that. And then we move it over here. There we go. So we get the widest margins. There you go. I'm just trying to fill up my the half of the screen. All right, it's November 1st. We already said that. And good morning. Daniel snapped the shot right there. What is this right here? This is, I thought it was like a, I can't tell what it is. It looks like a lounge chair with no one in it. And the sun striking the chair is showing the, we need to get rid of that. We can get rid of it. You want to see how? iPhone number 26.1. There's a new feature called Cleanup. So if you look at the very bottom of your screen, it looks like an eraser all the way to the right. Well, right at middle. Right there, you can see where my finger's pointing. And then you can look on your side of the screen, see Cleanup. Press Cleanup. There we go. And then you see the little finger going like this. So what you do is you do a little expando here. And you just come up like this. Bingo! Chair's gone. Not bad, huh? There you go. Get rid of that distracting chair. And since we've gotten rid of that chair, I think we're going to go get rid of that. Yeah, we just trim the remainder of that removal. Left a gap in the hedge or whatever. It's kind of a hedge. There we go. So now we have a picture without that empty lounge chair. Maybe that was intended to be in the photos. Here's another little distracting item. Whatever that is. It looks like there's a couple of creatures chasing whatever that is. It looks like a submarine. Are we getting attacked? Well, let's get rid of the photobomb. Let's do another cleanup on aisle 13. Yeah, we'll just do that. It's gone. It's a pretty nice feature. You can just kind of get, like a photobomb. Somebody sticks their arm out, with the index finger, trying to louse up your photo. Smart asses. So we got rid of the lounge chair. We got rid of the it looked like a submarine. Anyway, the thing comes up through the water and looks through the periscope up. Scotty, go to periscope depth. Anyway, so we started out with this marvelous picture. We got rid of the lounge chair, as you noticed, and we also got rid of the periscope floating around out there in shallow waters. And it had to be a pretty little tiny submarine, because the depth there is about 3 feet of water. Okay, iPhone 17 Pro is matched up against the Galaxy S25 Ultra phone, and I can tell you that this fella tested both cameras, and here's what he found. He found out that the Apple iPhone 17 Pro exceeds in every single category. I tell you what, folks, I have in my hands here the iPhone 17 Pro Max. I can prove it to you. Because I can go to settings. It's 10:45. And I can go down here to general. And I can go here to about. And what does it say there in model name? If you can see it. It says iPhone 17 Pro Max. There you go. Serial number, model number. 2 terabytes of storage. And I have 1.37 available. Yeah, so I'm using, about 1/3 of the memory just to turn it on. 564 videos. I could clear up a few billion bytes by deleting a couple of videos. I've got 455 applications, and I've got 107,000. Can you see that? 107,573 photos. That's a large piece of that roughly 600 gigabytes. Can you believe it? 600 gigabytes. Oh, God. Anyway, about face. What do I have? I have iOS 26.1. You can see that. What's going on here with the... Look at that. It's focused. Yeah, we want that. We need that focus. There we go, right there. We're going through Flipboard. I have Flipboard loaded over here. Am I looking at Flipboard? Oh, these are screen pictures of Flipboard front pages. See where it says flip? We can't flip because these are pictures of the pictures that are on Flipboard. Yeah. Anyway, so this guy tested, Doug Fredericks from CNET, tested the iPhone 17 Pro against the Galaxy S25. They got little cameras and little dits everywhere. Yeah. It's amazing the way the precision of the, to grind these lenses. Little bitty lenses. I mean, the size of a pea. Just imagine taking the shell off a pea. That looks like. And imagine that being glass and then grinding it down, cutting it, and having it so it fits right in there perfectly. And all the lens pieces have to be the same. Apple is so anal about getting things right and not distributing anything less than a full spec version of its iPhone to the public, since they've paid for it one way or the other. And when they're ready to go to production, what they do is they'll set up a production. All right, run 100,000 or run 1,000 of them. And they'll run 100,000. And they say, okay, pick. There, you got them all lined up in the boxes. Let me walk through. Here, let's take a look at this one. And let's take it out of the box. And let's see. Let's just take a look and see how this is working. So they turn it on and they take pictures and they look at the quality of this and that. And they run several applications. They get iOS 26 working, so forth. Well, looks good. Then they say, go ahead, we're ready to run. So then they'll produce 14 million of them. But they do a test run of, 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 units to make sure that the specifications and the supply line has quality components, because you don't want anything but the highest quality to go in the hands of the buying public, because they're paying for these things with good money. Yeah. So it's got to be right. Okay. A federal judge is poised to rule on the fate of the National Guard in Portland. I thought the Supreme Court has already said. Supreme Court needs to, every time a federal judge sticks its nose, it's not supposed to be the arbiter of the foreign policy or the internal policy of the United States of America, as executed by the chief executive of our country, which is the president. And he can order the National Guard wherever he damn pleases, particularly to shore up a place where they're firebombing every night, and we need these armed National Guard to shore up the National Guard armory and the equipment and, the munitions and the ammunitions and the rifles and tear gas and, these magazines right there, all stuffed in his, he's got 2 in there for his handgun, and he's got 2 more. They hold about 30 shots, and he's got 2 more in there. Yeah. But every once in a while, a federal judge will stick his head up. This federal judge was appointed by Obama, And unfortunately, too much of the politics is, too much of our judiciary is full of, politicians. These judges aren't supposed to be politicians, and they're not supposed to be, dispensing, how the chief executive of our country is supposed to operate. I believe that's Congress's responsibility to rein in their president. Federal judge rules Trump cannot require citizen proof on the federal voting form. Now what? Why the hell would a federal judge tell the people that are issuing, voter IDs not to have these people prove they're citizens? I don't know how you prove yourself a citizen. They don't, when you get born in the United States, they don't give you a diploma saying you are a citizen. But I guess if you're a card-carrying passport holder, that would prove something of your citizenship, I think. I have a... shall we take a look? All right, let's see if we can find this on the QT. All right. That's not working too good. Trips, no. Documents. I need documents. I saw it. All right, here's documents. Let's see where this leads us. This doesn't look like documents. This looks like everything but documents. It is not documents. Documents, there's right in there. In the English language. All right. Those are ones that are pinned. Sorry for the P words. They tend to pop. There it is. See what my license on the front right there? It's right smack in the middle. All right. I'm looking for... See, now in your driver's license, it doesn't give you any information about whether you're a citizen or not. I'm looking for a copy card. When I visit my my good friend, Dr. Strasser, Eugene G. Strasser, who's got the world-famous plastic surgery, owns his own hospital. And I see him periodically whenever one of my little skin doodads look like it's getting ready to erupt. I go in there and have him take a look. And what I do is on this sheet you're seeing here, which is what is handed an autopsy officer. Ouch. The torso. And what I did is I marked it up with, see, there you go, 419. This is a 2018 drawing. And these are the spots I had around my body. So I put little circles with X's on them. And I had one on my hand and one on my shoulder that exercised me more than anything else. I had two there and one there and two there. Anyway, he checked all those out and he said, no, they're okay. There you go. There's my 2020, February 2020. I'm awarded this certificate for successfully completing the 14-hour real estate continuing education and meeting the requirements and high standards of the Burt Rogers School of Real Estate. Look at that, you get your own little diploma. Anyway, I was looking for this, right? This is my passport. All right, let's look through there. Let's see. Sex male. United States Department of State. See page 51. Oh, this issued New York, New York. This place of birth. Well, I guess place of birth. That would demonstrate citizenship, right? You're born in New York, that proves that you're a citizen. So I guess this, let's see, how about our passport card? Where's Maryland's? Watch out for this. This is my concealed weapons permit. Yeah, it's good for another couple of years. Uh-huh. How long that takes to get renewed. I just hope I get to the point where I can renew it. Here we go. There's Jimmy's passport card. Place of birth, New York, USA. So this United States of America passport card, this is an expired one.
It's 11 o'clock.
So that's what you can have a passport card, which is like a credit card size card. And it's got some of these numbers on it, like on the edge here, 65509, whatever that means. And then we have a photo number and passport card number. There's the passport itself. And none of these numbers match up. So the passport card is co-issued with this for an extra $30 charge. I figure, what the heck? The sucker's good for 10 years, right? It expires 10 years from the date of issue. So it's $3, 10 years, $30. It's $3 a year. Is it worth it to have a passport card? I think so. It's a government form of photo identification. I'd rather show this to my TSA agent than the driver's license, which, God knows how they're issued, Oh, gosh. Yeah. Geez. This doesn't show anything about where you're born. It shows supposedly where you live. That's about it. Here's that's a good driver's license. Yep, that's where I keep all copies of these different things. All right. There's the car. Oh, they plugged us back in. It's funny, they came in at like 10 o'clock at night and plugged in their cars, and then then they take off. I don't know if it's worth it I guess to save $10 or $15 in electric energy. They plug in there. They are tenants in the building, so anyway, and they're not keeping track. The building is not separately metering that plug, to the best of my knowledge. It's like forgotten. They approved it a long time ago, and it's just like my next door neighbor on the parking lot said, "Hey, we ought to do this, and we ought to do that." I said, we ought to do nothing. This is like a forgotten thing. Let's not bring anything to their attention. So it ain't broken. Let's not fix it. Let's just leave it alone. There you go. There are the phases of the moon as it covered with an eclipse where the Earth got in the way, caused a shadow as the moon is revolving around the Earth. It just so happened, as it's going around, and it itself is revolving around the sun, it is a particular moment in time where the Earth was between the moon and the sun, and that is, this redness is, the color, because the sun is 93 million miles away, and the Earth and this moon are like 240,000 miles. You don't get a black shadow on the moon because the sun is so large in diameter that it's causing a shadow on the shadow, so to speak, overlapping shadows. So instead of it being deep red or black, in a perfect world, if the sun was a dit instead of something that's 8,000 diameters larger than the Earth. I think I read that somewhere, where if you compare the diameter of the Earth and the diameter of the sun, the Earth, you could put 8,000 you could put 8,000 Earths inside the belly of the sun, so that it would touch and line up all those Earths going all the way across. And that would be the diameter of the sun. So you get the diameter of the Earth and multiply it by 8,000, and that's the diameter of the sun. That'll be an extra credit question for you. Yeah. Call in your results. Anyway, let's go back to my photo album, because I've got a few things to. Oh yeah, I loused up. Recently added. That's the only one. Trying to find out where I left off. The one way to keep yourself, in line for, you want to stay alive? Have purpose. Yes, sir. Have a purpose. God darn it. If you don't have a purpose, you're going to sit around and just die. This retirement business is a bunch of crap. You get all these people that are perfectly capable of doing things, and they're not being engaged to do it because they're too old. Too old? What do you mean too old? What does that mean? You go that way for blue, we go this way. So we want to get rid of, I want that pole to look dirty, not bluey. There we go. So we got purpose. Figure it out. What is this? Brightness. We just leave that right at 0 where it was. Contrast. That will whiten the sun, but I lost something. Yeah, it's all about the purpose. That's it. We just did a little color correcting there. Cop out. Yeah, but I mean, you don't want police. Well, how the hell are you going to have law and order? You know, you got 9 million people packed in this New York City area. 9 million people, all stacked up on top of each other. All kinds of net worth. You got billionaires to people that can't rub 2 nickels together. They only have 1 nickel. So that race, anyway, that's a mess. So are there enough socialists to engage this guy? Never had a job in his life. And now we're going to hand him, you know, the multi-billion-dollar budget of the city of New York, and he's supposed to run it? He don't know how to do shit. Oops, sorry the expression. You have to have purpose. Yeah. I'd rather have Cuomo. He thought he was doing a good deed by putting the elderly up, in these nursing homes. And it turned out, they infected the nursing homes with the disease and killed all the senior people in the building. He didn't do that on purpose. No one knew how this virus moves around, and anyway. Vice President J.D. Vance calls for the reduction in legal immigration. He doesn't want to shut it down. He calls for the reduction. In other words, he's just belly aching it. I think my next move with the Vance calls for the reduction in legal immigration. Because we've let in so many illegally, we got to slow down this a little bit, because we just don't have, the bandwidth to deal with all these people. Now, what we should do is, number one, I can write a book. What I do not know about the legal side of the immigration laws of the land. Yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about. I actually don't. So, but given that, the one thing we could do is do like what Australia does, or New Zealand. You can't come into the United States unless you can prove you're completely self-sufficient and that you will not put a stress on our medical, that you have the proper insurance that covers you in the United States, or you will have the net worth to cover, hospitalization and so forth. Because we don't want you being a stress on our medical or financial assets of the United States of America. Because you have the financial wherewithal to make all that happen. Here or any other place on the planet. So you have to prove that. See, I do that because if they're going to come in here and be and they have the financial wherewithal to take care of themselves forever, then, what the hey? Everything else is in order with their application. Make it happen. Swear them in. Every month or every week. I think it's every week they have swearing in ceremonies in various cities across the country. And here he's giving a speech and calls for a reduction in legal immigration. We can understand that. I suggested that to myself. I said, self? I think we should cut down on legal immigration. What do you think? Well, the three of us came to a vote. The three of us being me, myself, and I. And we decided that was a good idea. All right, a judge humiliates Trump's top Border Patrol goon with his own words on Fox News. I tell you what, these judges, these liberal judges, need to stick to their judging. Their judgeships have been created in order for them to watch over, the district attorneys in the variety of cities under which they supervise. So, why they're constantly sticking their nose in what this Border Patrol goon, as he's called. I will not call him a goon. He's a serious-minded top Border Patrol aficionado. Trump says the Senate should scrap the filibuster and end the shutdown. I'm beginning to think use your nuclear option. The Senate has the majority. They can change the rules, and they should basically say it's a majority wins. Forget the 60 vote. The filibuster was brought into being, right around the time of Lincoln. It's just a rule that the Senate decided to impose on itself so that it would be a more deliberative body. Me and the Democrats had 60 votes already. So they decided, hey, let's call that a filibuster. And let's see if the opposing party can come up with 60 votes. So we're basically, it was a rule to shut them down. It wasn't to make it more deliberative. What a bunch of BS that is. Remember the Senate controlled, the Democrats had the majority of the House of Representatives for decades and decades, like 30, 40 years, something like that. And, finally with, the Trump administration, whatever, they ended up with a real small majority for the first time in 40 years. And the speaker had to hand the gavel over to someone else. And Nancy Pelosi was one sorry puppy having to hand that gavel over to a Republican. Oh my God. Yeah, it happened twice. And the House Minority Leader is a total waste of breath. We have sticker shock with Obamacare. Oh, really? We knew it. We knew it wasn't going to work. We could read the law, and we knew it wasn't going to work. I tested it out with my son. I have a son that has been loyal into the restaurant business. Well, restaurants are down, at least in Florida, are known for not having, they don't have health insurance and life insurance and this and that. If you get sick, hurry up and get better and come back to work. That's their idea of health insurance. Get out of here until you're better, We don't want you hurting our people that are, healthy. So Obama came up with Obamacare. You can keep your this, you can keep your doctor, you can keep your doctor's office, you can keep your hospital, you can keep your doctor. Well, guess what? Under the Affordable Care Act, which is a total joke because there's nothing affordable about it. Matter of fact, it's such an upside-down disaster that they had to create a subsidy to give to people so that they could make their payments. So they put them on a subsidy to make the payments so they could have Obamacare. Well, what the hell good is that? Yes. Anyway, so my son's in a restaurant business, and and the other son, he's working for, a big business that is, can afford to provide health insurance, and so forth. Oops, my iPad just went into sleep mode. No, we don't want. We don't want it doing anything. Definitely not a sleep mode. Anyway, so we should do away with the filibuster. We have these real thin majorities on both sides all the time. You got a 3 or 4 vote majority in the House and a 3 vote majority in the Senate. So it's a real razor edge. So you might as well just, go back to the way the Constitution is written. Forget it. You have more senators than less senators, your motion passes. Forget this, you got to get to 60. And we need 5 more Democrats. And they're not weighing in. So we can either hang around and make 5 Democrats heroes when they come forward and vote for, the Republican proposal. Or we can just, eliminate the filibuster. It's a rule change. Doesn't require any congressional action whatsoever. And just say, if we got more senators than you got senators voting against it, then the motion passes. And open up the government and get these people their paychecks. We've got the cash, so there's no use impacting these people. And, we need air traffic controllers to keep our aviation system, commercial aviation system working. Yeah. Oh, we never talked about Jimmy's health. Here's my health statistics. Today, as of 10:14 a.m., of course it's 11:23 a.m., but you can see it right there on our clock. That is the exact time. Going to my watch, which is now fully charged, which I will now put on my wrist. And my blood oxygen is at 100. My blood sugar. Can't. Yeah, there we go. So you can see that. 180. So let's just had some hot tea with some oatmeal raisin cookies. Those raisins will get you every time. And actually the raisins did not get me. Yeah. Anyway, so here's my we can do an electrocardiogram as we sit. So we push that button there and we activate the EKG button, and I just, there we go, hold my finger against my watch like this. You see, I'll do this over again. Watch this. You see my pulses coming up on the watch? Let's start over. There we go. I was starting over with my hand resting on my desktop, because you have to keep everything like steady as you go. No shaking permitted for 30 seconds. I can flap my tongue, I can talk, but do not shake your wrist, because it'll disturb the results of the EKG. Sinus rhythm, meaning that the EKG did not show signs of arterial fibrillation. Arterial fibrillation is a very serious, I'll show you what, I just did a print screen of this, and in a couple of minutes it'll pop up. And we're done. And anyway, so I see sinus rhythm yesterday. Yeah, see electrocardiogram yesterday. So now we got one today. It'll pop up on this. This is a photo of the heart app that Apple developed. Blood oxygen level 91 as of 6:14 a.m. just as I was waking up. I did blood pressure 120/68. How magnificent is that? It is so good. I can't hardly believe it. Yeah, that's really quite good. I mean, that's what you want, particularly that lower number. You know, you want to. That's 68. That's the pressure inside your arteries between beats. When your heart pulses, you know, it pulses, thump, 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 thump. 120 is the measure in mercury, you will. When they put the cuff on, you know, when they pump it up. How many millimeters of mercury do you push up this standard size? Anyway, so 120/68. 120 is when the heart pulses, when it pumps, it creates a wave of motion, of these blood cells. And all your organs and everything, they expect this wave. You can't have a constant. It has to pulsate. They've tried different kinds of electric motors. They don't work. Patient dies. They can do it. It's just millions of years of, humanoid development. Look at that today, my 72 high. That's a level of high. 70, I don't know, 70 to 100, I guess, is high. And then you can press on that, on the actual application, and it shows different waveforms of your sleeping. I only had 439 steps as of 9:05 a.m., which is how many steps it takes to go back and forth to the bathroom twice, to walk around the kitchen a few times, clean this up, go there, 400 steps is like nothing. But that's the after dawn up to 9:05 number of steps. I average around 2,000 steps a day, which is, too low. Any other highlights here? No. But you can see this any day. There we go. Let's crop this in real time so we can actually see what this ticket looks like. There we go. We're going to press OK. There you go. Now we can see it. Yeah. Now these balls, the Boca Raton Mayor's Ball. Notice there's no apostrophe. There's no apostrophe in the word mayor. It's a charitable celebrating 10 years. The Downtown Boca Raton Fund, which is Maryland's club, sponsors this Mayor's Ball. And they get a lot of people to donate money to create this event, beautiful event, at the Boca Raton Resort. What could be more Boca Raton than the Boca Resort, right? On one side is the Atlantic Ocean beaches, and the other side is the calmer waters of the Intercoastal Waterway. And you can sit there and watch the boats go back and forth, which we're going to do. We're going to Uber over to the event. Uber. We're not going to drive because I may have a cocktail or two. Or three. And I don't want to drive home. And I don't, of course, you have 25 hours to park, which is, or maybe more, it's probably 30 now. I don't know. Last year was 25. Today it's probably 30. And the Susan Welchel Award, the George Snow Scholarship Fund, Tim Snow. I guess he gets the award. Is that what's going on here? And the J.C. Mitchell Award is going to Zoe Latham. And the George Lang Award at the Town Center of Boca Raton. It having survived the closings of all these shopping centers. Yeah. That used to be Edward J. DeBarlow's. Now who owns it? Saldana His company owns it, I guess. Anyway, so they sell these tickets for like $450 a piece. So that's $900 for the lovely couple. Plus the lovely couple has to have, $1,000 worth of wardrobe to attend, not counting jewelry. So that's $2,000. Yeah. And you can all, anyway, so it's mayors, meaning more than one mayor shows up. So every year we all, walk around and say hi to each other. I know about 3 or 4 of the mayors, the historical mayors, because I've been in town for a long time. Anyway, so we got the 2025 honorees. I'm just a hockey puck that sits in the audience, and I'm thankful to sit in the audience. Thank you, my cardiologists. It saved my life, if you will, 7 years ago. Yeah. With quadruple bypass surgery. Thank you, Dr. Brian Buffet, my cardiologist. At the time, he's up in the West Palm area, in the central part of Palm Beach County now. Whereas before he used to be in the Delray Medical Center and moved up. Probably got like chief of cardiac surgery, which he should be. He's spectacular. Nice young gentleman that took my case from recommended by Jose Ordonez. Dr. Jose Ordonez. He's the one that really saved my life because he said, Jimmy, I can't let you do what Dr. Carledge is recommending. You will not survive the surgery. Well then, Dr. Jose Ordonez, what is Plan B? We do not want to do Plan A because, I actually looked up the good doctor who is the chief of cardiac surgery at the Boca Raton Regional Medical Center. And he looks a little... They need to change his bio photograph because that's a pretty scary photograph. Yeah. All right, here's... UN accuses the U.S. of breaching international law with its deadly airstrikes on boats just cruising around in the Caribbean. Yeah, right. They're drug people. And they're racing from Venezuela north to get all their drugs, in some little area that is devoid of Border Patrol people, so we can sneak in, the chemicals needed to produce fentanyl, which killed 200,000 of our youth. Oh, God. Just last year. The average number of deaths annually in the United States without extraneous, viruses and so forth, and this poisoning of our youth, it's not overdose, it's poisoning. They are poisoning our youth. There is no, every dose is a lethal dose, okay? You will die from taking these chemicals, fentanyl being one of them. The problem is that the people that mix the fentanyl with the cocaine and all these other drugs, I can't even list them all because I forget what they're called. I don't do drugs, so I'm not into. I have not committed much of my memory to, I have limited amount of memory, so, everyone has a limit. So I try to keep important things in my memory, not things that aren't important to me or my conversation. And conversations that I have, my audience, is over 50, for sure. They're somewhere between 80 and 60, probably. It was really cool. I clicked on, this is a simulcast, by the way. As you can see by the ticker tape running on the top of my site here, if you're watching. Now, you could be listening to me, just sipping coffee, your morning coffee, listening to Jimmy yakety yak. It's worth, you should do it at least once a week, or, maybe twice a week. Because I mentioned some important things, in what's going on in the world. I know a few things, what the heck. This is a simulcast, broadcasting across 3 social networks. Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and Twitter Live, aka W. And these are listed in order of the most number of contacts that actually listen into this August broadcast. Yeah. I try to do it every weekday by, 9:15 a.m. I have not settled back into 9:15 a.m. I got sick for 10 days. I had the flu, and I was tired. And, I could have done the broadcast, but I was just kind of tired, run down. Energy absorbing viruses, trying to fight off its ill effects. So I got knocked off the air here for a couple of weeks. So, you have to get back into it, back into the discipline of, I get up early enough, I get up at 6 o'clock in the morning on the weekdays. Get up nice and early and get things done and clean up things I gotta do. And, I got a home notification. Let's take a look. What does it say? Marilyn is here. All right, I have to get off the air. I can see her on the camera. You see her walking around? She's got a little goodie for me in a box. Yes, sir. So I'm going to get off the air here since I've been chit-chatting, talking for an hour and 23 minutes. So we'll see you, Monday, for sure. Tomorrow is unlikely. So we'll see you Monday, okay? I'll try to tune in before